with Stuart, Brisgel, and David Solomon every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. You think about it, we rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's Monday. Okay, that would be usually Friday tone, but it's more Monday. We're back. It's the beginning of the week. And if you're a sports fanatic like me, you've come off of one heck of a whole crazy weekend. But I hope you enjoyed yourselves all as well on your end. Today, what we want to talk about is it's so funny how, we talked about parenting styles. Stuart dove into the whole thing about, the dysfunctionality between school and parenting and who should parent and blah, blah, blah. And we spent a lot of time on that. It was really great. And people were saying, guys, tell us how you really feel about parents. You guys barely scraped the surface. And this could be an hour-long type of rant, but we're going to, I got a list here, but we got 15 minutes. And let me start by saying, Stuart, that I've been parenting now for 25 years. And at one point, you go from parenting to being a consultant. When my kids reach a certain age, you're not a parent anymore. You're a consultant, okay? Because they're adults and they're going to do their own thing. But in their formative years, when they started out, you had to parent. And I remember vividly friends of mine, people I know, the circles we're in, whether we're sports or school or whatever, the parents would come to me and saying, "You're so tough on your kids. You're so hard on your kids. You're so, And it's like, it was all about teaching them some sort of value. And let me start by the first one, Stuart. And I want your reaction to this. The words, hello, goodbye, please, and thank you. Four words that I'm going to...
David, I have to just jump in.
Go.
I got to tell you, this weekend and for the last couple of weeks, it has been children not saying hello, goodbye to any elders, their face in their phones, not acknowledging anyone's existence unless they have a demand or request that you clearly haven't done. My wife, Yanina, literally, we've been talking about this, fighting about this ad nauseam. Because one of our children now, more than the other two, not that the other two are not guilty, but one is now so atypical, not acknowledging any adult presence in the spirit of trying to cause a fight. It's crazy. But no, we're not causing a fight. What is the reason for this? All right, David. Sorry, I had to jump in on you.
No. It's actually kind of funny. I'll tell you, because it's something that I remember vividly when my kids were really, really young, especially my oldest one. He was like 2 or 3 years old. And my wife's grandmother, may she rest in peace, she would say, I don't understand. Why are you pushing him to say this? He's a young kid. Leave him alone. And she'd nag me. And then years later, she came and complained to me. She couldn't understand why her other grandchildren wouldn't say hello and shouldn't say thank you and wouldn't say, she couldn't understand it. Your children are so polite. Folks, I got to tell you.
Beat your children? Did you beat your children to get them so polite?
No. But I got to tell you something. One of the things, and I remember, and one thing I remember teaching my kids, and it was like one of those things that my kids saw. I would open the door for my wife. And I would open the door for other women. It was just a cordial cat. I mean, men, women, it didn't make a difference, but it was like, hey, open the door and whatever. And my oldest son, he remember, he was 13 years old. He's starting, in high school, and he opens the door for a girl, and the girl goes, "I can open the door myself. I don't need you to help me." He says, "Okay," and he slams the door in her face. He's like, what happened to any sense? And I think this is part of the parenting I'm talking about, is we've really forgotten this basic value of cordiality. It's no wonder we lose our minds on roads. It's no wonder we lose our minds with people. This form of respect comes from parenting. And I'm telling you, we as a generation have simply decided that this wasn't important anymore. And now we're eating it, but good, Stuart. But good.
David, I literally got into an embroiled battle with my wife over this child not saying hello, not acknowledging her in the morning, saying good morning. it is absolutely brutal. Like, I don't know what to do anymore.
You know
Like,
what?
I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. If I do it this way, I'm sticking up for one child. I do it that way. I'm fighting against another parent. I lose. I lose either
You know
way.
what?
What's the
It's a
right thing
funny.
to do?
It was a funny thing. Before my kids became teenagers, I have a friend. They're like 10 years older than us, and they were saying to us, "Going, I just want to warn you that all the work that you did until they're about 10 or 11 or 12 years old, you're gonna have to start all over again when they're 13." And what do you mean? He goes, "It's as if they woke up one morning and had massive amnesia." And they forgot all the stuff that you tried to teach them. But anyways, let me move on to the next one. I'm going to show you another part where I think that parents have simply gone south. And I had this funny conversation with a couple of people, recently. When a kid goes to school, they have work to do, and they have projects to submit, and they have to come up with their own ideas. Now, my mother taught for 25 years. My wife has taught for several years. Your wife teaches, okay, but I think she teaches kindergarten, so it might be a little bit different. But I cannot. But the funny thing is, how many parents did their kids' project so that they can show off and it's like, what happened to the kid? I mean, like, you gotta be kidding me. What the hell are you doing?
That's another topic, and when you have 3 kids, the parent did the project for one and then forces that one to do the project with the other 2.
No, you know what? No, I personally, I'm a parent of 3. I never did my kids' projects.
Did Cheryl?
No.
You sure?
No.
Cheryl never did the projects?
Stuart, no. And I think that the problem is at the end of the day, where is the creativity from the child? Where is the inner from the child? So the kid drew out of the line. So the kid didn't put the perfect PowerPoint together. So the kid didn't do it perfectly. Hello, none of us are perfect. But how is your kid going to learn if you're going to do it for them? I mean, like, I'm sorry, parents, you cannot. It makes 0 sense to me for you to do your kids' work. Sorry.
I don't disagree. But I mean, but you have to help your kid.
Helping isn't helping. I get it. You want to help cut something out? Sure, no problem. But to actually create the template, the design, write the text and do that? Come on. Really? What is a kid learning? The kid learns, I'll sit back. Mom and dad, go for it.
I just want to preface that neither David nor I have a PhD or master's degree in parenting or child education or any type of psychobabble degree. So we're just speaking as 2 schmucks who have kids.
Okay. Well,
he's got 3 older kids. I got 3 younger kids.
I'm going to give you another time where I think parents have gone out of line. Okay. And parenting 101, where I think it's just what a terrible example of parenting. So I've been in this. I mean, I didn't grow up playing sports. My parents didn't really believe in it. And so I did whatever I could. But my wife and I, God bless, we believe that sports has a place. You'd learn leadership, teamwork, responsibility, effort. There's a whole slew of things that you do. It's not just about playing a hockey or baseball or soccer. It really doesn't make a difference. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is how the parents are in watching the kid play. And it's frightening to see how many parents get into fights in the stands, where families just lose their minds. Parents lose their minds. There is a code of conduct now being signed by parents, that if they act out of line, they are not permitted in the stadium, the arena, or whatever it is. Stuart, this is parenting. What are you teaching your child? And by the way, LeBron James just did this a couple of weeks ago, where his kid Bronny was playing a game, and the announcer made a comment that the arena is named after LeBron James, and LeBron James acted like a parent and went up to and confronted the arena announcer. Bravo, Mr. LeBron. Bravo to all you parents. If you can't get your stuff together, seriously, what is wrong with you?
Well,
that
well,
you,
listen. You talk about Bronny James. I think that's the one you're talking about. He's a kid born in 2004. His dad made millions upon millions of dollars.
we know.
Talks all about he is the one.
But
With
we're
all
talking
due
about
respect,
parenting,
he's the
man.
biggest putz in the world.
Talk about
He's the
parenting. What
he
is this about
he
parenting?
knows jack diddly about being parented or parenting. And you know what he knows how to do? Throw hoops in a basket. Shut up. Throw hoops in a basket.
No.
Help do your incubator and help hate police because you just suck. And if that's what you're teaching
But
your
that,
kid, you're
but
the worst parent in the world, maybe.
I don't know about that, but I'll tell you. But it's just an example of parenting, and I'll give you. I'll tell you one more thing that was just. It was just. This is like one of my favorite stories. I mean, I did coach. I volunteered to coach, and I had parents yell at me, scream at me. Two parents actually from another team tried to attack me because they didn't get it. They didn't understand. And I'm not a bad person. This has just become the norm of what parents are doing. And instead of, and this is the sad part, instead of the principal of the school, and this was we were playing two schools, principal of the school saying to the parents, what kind of behavior are you doing? Like, what kind of example are you doing are you showing to the children? The principal basically said, well, what'd you expect from the parents?
Well, listen, I coach USA Swim. I have for several years. David, I
Yep.
was quite a formidable athlete in the sport and continue to give back to the sport. And, I can tell you that the courses that I am required to do for USA Swimming don't make me a better parent or a better coach.
No.
It's another topic we should get into, but parents, my standpoint is aren't allowed on the deck. I don't talk to parents. The only time I would talk to a parent is if it's a disciplinary action to tell the parent that your kid did well. I mean, yeah, I'll do that if it merits it. But like that whole culture of, applauding, Dave, I want to tell you that I follow the Greek methodology. You know what the Greek methodology is, David? The Greek methodology of parenting or the Greek methodology of sports or the Greek methodology at all, which predates all these methodologies, the roots of the Olympics, a topic that we're going to get into, which is a little transfer there. The Greeks don't believe in anything other than first place. There is no second. If you're second place, you're just as much of a loser as the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
But that's
talking about parenting and sports.
But what's happened is that, and it happened. Listen, I had to separate two parents who nearly got into a fist fight because they wanted their kid to be number one on our team. It wasn't about the team; it was about the kid. And I have to tell you, I saw an example of parenting that just was vile. It's like, I get it. I cheer for my kid.
But hang on a second. But hang on. What was vile? The fact that the parent wants their kid to be number one? But did the kid deserve to be number one?
No, Stuart, the two parents on our team nearly got into a fist fight. Two mothers, by the way.
Did you buy popcorn?
What? I know, but I actually bet on one parent beating the other parent up. That the parents were yelling at each other because.
Do I know the parents?
No.
Okay.
They were screaming at each other because this parent said, "Oh, your kid didn't give me your kid's not passing," and this one says, "It was like an embarrassment." And like, this is the kind of parenting you're trying to show people. You know what? At the end of the day, folks, I put up an image, and the kids today, what we've turned our kids into, it's unbelievable. We're parenting. Parenting is difficult. I mean, folks, let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, parent is very difficult. I mean, every time I think I did something right, I end up finding out I may have done it wrong. I don't know if other than adding food, shelter, and clothing, is there anything that's right or wrong? Because you know what? For one child, it's right. And for the other child, it's wrong. And, even in disciplining, okay, I'm going to take your phone away. I mean, David, you and I were kids. We didn't have phones. We were lucky we had electronics, like a Simon Says. I mean, it's ridiculous.
But Stuart, the whole thing with this whole business, and as you said, disciplining. Can I tell you? There are parents who don't even bother. There are two.
Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't even know anymore.
No, but I'm sorry. Life is full of consequences, right? There's an action and a reaction. I'm not saying you have to physically beat your child. I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying yell at your child. But if your child throws a baseball through a window and it's an accident, it's one thing. If it's on purpose, are you saying, good child? Oh, no, there's got to be some repercussion, because life is full of repercussions. Guys, I do business on a global scale. I meet people from different cultures all the time. Your child, you want him to develop to be something in a global village? Guys, be really careful what you're doing with kids, because parents around the world are still disciplining their children, are still teaching them right from wrong, and that's the crazy part. Folks, Wednesday, we have a super special episode.
Oh, wow.
We're scheduled to bring in an expert. What happened, unfortunately, in the condo in Sunrise, Florida, was a sheer disaster.
Surfside.
That is correct. He is not here to talk about blame, but he's here to put some thought into what occurred and how, in God's name, can we prevent this in the future. This is a disaster that cannot reoccur.
David, Rick, what Rick brings to the table is, not only is he an engineer, he has been one of the foremost experts, most vocal in every media stream that you listen or watch. And we're very fortunate to have him join us. I'm super uber excited. The Surfside tragedy continues with more and more realizations that there are no survivors at this point. And it's just sad. And I'm excited to get Rick here to talk about this to everyone. I think this is a special edition. I think we may run it a little longer. So if you're going to book it Wednesday, book an extra little bit of time for us. And David, take it away.
Listen, folks, watch out for this. Details to follow on all of our everywhere. Folks, we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.